Right now at noon, the cold weather continues, plus snow is expected tonight. Of all the details coming up.
Plus, President Trump marks 1 year in the Oval Office, how he's preparing to head to Switzerland amid rising tensions over Greenland. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. A programming note for you. CBS will be planning to hold a special report momentarily. We will be taking that when it comes in. But for now, we want to start with the weather as we're tracking more snow heading into southern Wisconsin tonight, along with the bitterly cold weather out there. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Madison joins us right now. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Josh, if you can believe it, it is better out there compared to this time yesterday, but still very cold. 8 degrees in Madison. Some areas have gotten into the lower teens, which is some good news, but a lot of the region still in the single digits. And although the winds are a little bit better, we still are seeing some of those wind chills below zero for a lot of the area. But compared to this time yesterday, they were in the negative teens to negative 20s. So the -3 wind chill in Madison, certainly an improvement. But we continue to see alert day conditions through today as we will see more of those cold temperatures. Plus, then we have that overnight snow that could bring about 1 to 3 inches to our area. And this is going to be tonight, especially for far southern Wisconsin. But most of our area should at least see some snow in some capacity. So throughout the afternoon, clouds will increase, but we're not going to see that snow move in until much later in the evening, probably not until around 8 to 9 p.m. But then once it does start, it is going to continue for a few hours. But overall, not going to last too long. Snow definitely could be moderate to maybe even heavy at times, especially for areas south of Madison. But then as we get closer to sunrise Wednesday, that initial round of snow will have moved out of the area, but it is going to bring in around 1 to 4 inches for Madison and places to the south. Again, locations to the north still could see that snow, just a little bit less likely. But there is one more brief round of snow before we see potentially even colder temperatures by the time we get to the end of the week. And we could be talking about some of the coldest air since 2019 when we had that polar vortex. So I'll talk about just how cold the actual temperatures and the wind chills could get coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Right now, the State Journal reports 1 person is in the hospital and 6 are without their home after a fire at a Janesville apartment. It broke out just before 11:30 last night on Ravine Street, just a few blocks from the Rock County Historical Society. When crews got there, they found heavy flames coming from a first-floor window of a 3-family residence. 2 people were rescued from the second floor. 1 person escaped with burns before firefighters arrived. That fire remains under investigation. Farmers are now getting a better idea of how much federal help they'll get this spring. The USDA releasing per-acre payment rates for 20 crops. That's under its $11 billion Farmer Bridge Assistance Program. It's aimed at helping farmers hit by tariffs and high prices. Corn, soybeans, and wheat will make up most of the payments. Texas, Iowa, and Illinois will get the largest totals. Economists say this will provide short-term relief, but farmers will struggle with rising debt and production costs. Payments are expected by February 28th for those who qualify. Well, it has been 1 year since President Trump took office, and this focus this week remains on foreign policy. He heads to Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum, where his push for Greenland is expected to dominate conversations. Here's Natalie Brand.
President Trump leaves tonight for Davos, where European allies hope to de-escalate tensions over Greenland. But the president is making clear he's not backing down.
Let's put it this way, it's going to be a very interesting Davos.
Ahead of the summit, President Trump posted a series of eye-catching social media posts. One image of him planting the American flag in Greenland.
It is not easy when we wake up every morning to new threats.
Another revealing a private message from French President Emmanuel Macron saying, "I do not understand what you're doing on Greenland." At Davos today, Macron also addressed the president's newly threatened tariffs on allies over the issue.
An endless accumulation of new tariffs that are fundamentally unacceptable, even more so when they are used as leverage against territorial sovereignty.
In London, House Speaker Mike Johnson told British Parliament he hoped to calm the waters.
We have always been able to work through our differences calmly as friends, and we will continue to do that. I want to assure you this morning that that is still the case.
The international tensions come as President Trump marks 1 year into his second term. The latest CBS News polling shows his approval rating at 41% overall, with many saying they want more focus on the economy.
People have told us that their income isn't keeping pace with inflation. That's been a consistent story through the year, and so they have been looking for the administration to put more emphasis on lowering prices.
President Trump says in Davos he will deliver the message that America's economy is strong. He's also expected to talk about affordability. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The CBS News poll shows 70% of those surveyed oppose using federal funds to buy Greenland. 86% of those surveyed say they are opposed to the use of military force to take Greenland. After a year of continuous outbreaks, the U.S. is at risk of losing its measles elimination status. More than 2,200 cases were reported in 2025. Today marks 1 year since the largest measles outbreak in the U.S. in decades started in West Texas. Meanwhile, large outbreaks in South Carolina and the Utah-Arizona border region are still growing, with the majority of cases among people who were not fully vaccinated. Health experts warn the U.S. could lose its measles elimination status that it held since 2000. That will be determined by a formal international review this spring. Well, the Hoosiers are the kings of college football. Indiana capping off a perfect season last night, beating Miami in the national championship. It completes one of the most dramatic turnarounds in college football history. 2 seasons ago, Indiana was 3-9, and now they're a college football powerhouse, finishing the season 16-0. Led by head coach Curt Cignetti and their Heisman quarterback Fernando Mendoza, they topped Miami 27-21. The road to the Super Bowl comes down to this weekend on CBS with the AFC Championship game. The New England Patriots head to Denver to take on the Broncos. The winner goes to Super Bowl 60. Kickoff is set for Sunday afternoon at 2 right here on CBS. Coming up next on News 3 Now at noon, how Americans are feeling about the economy in a new poll, plus why a seafood company is recalling some of its canned tuna products.
A new CBS News poll shows how Americans feel about the economy. A year into President Trump's second term, 74% say the president is not focused enough on lowering prices, while 23% say he's focused the right amount. 76% say their income is not keeping up with inflation. President Trump and Republicans still got slightly higher marks than Democrats on the question of who has the better approach to economic policy at 33 to 27%, though 39% said they don't know. The New York Stock Exchange is developing a separate platform that would allow for 24/7 trading of digital tokens. According to a press release, the NYSE platform would also allow for instant settlements, orders sized in dollar amounts, and stablecoin-based funding. The new platform is subject to regulatory approval. And Tri-Union Seafoods is warning consumers that some of its recalled Genova canned yellowfin tuna products may have been inadvertently distributed to major retailers in at least 9 states. The FDA says there's a manufacturing defect in the product's seal that could cause it to leak, or worse, become contaminated with the bacteria that causes botulism. The recalled products should be thrown away, even if they don't look or smell spoiled. Consumers can also return the tuna to the place of purchase for a refund. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is down 666 points, NASDAQ down 404, and the S&P 500 taking quite the hit this hour, 108 down. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Pam has today's farm numbers up next, and Jacob is tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, how fluoride and data centers are taking over the council packet in DeForest. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Bianchi for the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Josh. Yeah, so we're kind of keeping an eye on that weather forecast for a couple different reasons. Tomorrow is Ag Day at the Capitol. That's normally a big event that brings farmers of all different types down to Monona Terrace Convention Center, along with a lot of our commodity groups, farm organizations. There's a lot to be discussed at the state capitol, not the least of which is the future of the hemp industry in Wisconsin. What's going to happen as far as foreign ownership of agricultural land as well as forestry. So it should be a good attendance so long as the weather doesn't deter people from attending. Midwest Farm Report will be down there. Then I thought I'd talk a little bit about a conference that's going on in Wisconsin Dells right now. If you need a shot of springtime activities, get around the Wisconsin Grow Conference. It's our strawberry growers, our grape growers, it's our apple producers, the Christmas tree growers, Wisconsin Ag Tourism, all together under one roof, talking about the flavors that consumers are going to be looking for at that farm experience, not just this year, but the years to come. They've been doing taste testing on different varieties of apples that are going to be considered by growers to put into their orchards. So a lot of different things that are going on at the Grow Wisconsin Conference in Wisconsin Dells. And I'm starting to get baby pictures. Yeah, the barnyard baby pictures have started to roll in. I know it's a little early for some of you, but I wanted to encourage you, if you've got barnyard babies, you can start sending me the pictures like Alicia Prill. Bernie O'Rourke had that baby lamb for us. Alicia Prill Adams down at the Platteville beef operation had the pigs that were being born. If you've got babies that start to pop up on the farm, I'd love to know about it and share the pictures here on News 3 as well as across social media. You can email them to me. That's a great way to get started. Or you can send them via Messenger on Facebook. Fabulous Farm Babe. We'll try to make sure that we're putting a little bit of a smile on everybody's face when it comes to our spring barnyard babies. Everybody kind of backed by popular demand. I didn't know I was going to start something that I can't stop. But this, when you see something as cute as those piglets, I'm good to go. Thank you again to Bernie O'Rourke and Alicia Prill Adams down at Platteville for helping me out with those early pictures. We'll have more as the week unfolds. All right, so everybody was concerned about what was going on with Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P, NASDAQ. Well, commodities took it on the chin this morning as well, but have since started to rebound just a little bit. Our corn contracts are back up to about break even. Soybeans still waiting for some more performance from China. Dairy is having a very, very robust day in Chicago. Barrel cheese is still unchanged at $135 3/4, but 40-pound block cheese right out of the gate on after a 3-day weekend up 4.5 to $133.5. The AA butter up 5.5 to $1.41 a pound. Josh, I understand these prices are still not anywhere near what our Wisconsin dairy operators would like to see them, but it is nice to see that much enthusiasm and that kind of a robust pricing opportunity right after a 3-day weekend like we had.
Yeah, some positive news there. And more barnyard babies. That makes me smile and almost makes me forget about how ridiculously cold it is outside, Pam.
That's the goal.
All right, well, you stay warm. Let's get to the latest on the snow moving in. Here's certified most accurate meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, we're going to see about 1 to 4 inches of snowfall tonight for Madison and areas to the south, with another round of some quick snow showers Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. And then after we see the 2 rounds of snow clear out, we're going to see the temperatures fall even further down by the time we get to Friday and Saturday, where we could see wind chills possibly getting close to -40. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's start with the chance of snow. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day, but that snow isn't going to move in until much after sunset, where we are going to see snow showers moving kind of around 9 to 10 p.m., maybe a bit earlier for areas further to the west. And we'll see these snow showers for a few hours, clearing out by around 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. By sunrise, a lot of this will be out of the area. And then for most of tomorrow, we should be pretty dry until later in the afternoon and evening, where we will see another round of snow move through. This round of snow will be a little bit less than the round tonight, and also it will move in a little bit earlier compared to today, but this also will clear up very quickly. Then we get to Thursday and the temperatures begin falling. But here's a look at the accumulation forecast. Tonight's round, about 1 to 4 inches, but then we could see maybe about another inch or maybe 2 inches for some areas Wednesday night, bringing in a total snowfall accumulation anywhere from 1 to 5 inches. But again, areas to the north, less likely to see that snowfall. Now let's take a look at the alert day information. We could see wind chills as cold as -40 at times. This is going to be for all of southern Wisconsin, really beginning Thursday night and then continuing all day Friday, all day Saturday, finally coming to an end Sunday morning. But even after Sunday morning, temperatures are still going to be on the colder side throughout next week. So looking at the wind chill forecast right now, still below 0, but better compared to yesterday. They are expected to get above 0 either today, but certainly tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is going to be the warmest day, but as you can see, we're still talking about wind chills in the single digits. Then we get to Thursday morning, they'll be back below zero, and they're just going to get worse from here, because once we get to Friday morning, now I don't know if they're going to be this low, but we're talking about these would be some of the coldest wind chills we've seen in 7 years, which was 2019, where we had some wind chills in the negative 50s. So we're talking about dangerous cold air, especially Friday morning. Throughout the day Friday, they're only going to improve into the negative 20s, back in the negative 30s for Saturday morning, staying in the negative teens throughout Saturday, and Sunday morning they'll be back in the negative 20s before they finally get closer to zero, but probably still going to stay below zero for most of Sunday. So this is some of the coldest air we've seen in quite a while across southern Wisconsin. Friday, I'd imagine most schools will be closed, and then over the weekend it's going to continue to be brutally cold. Not really going to see much snowfall after tonight and Wednesday evening snow, but the snow that's on the ground is certainly not going anywhere. And as we get towards next week, although we will be warmer, we will be still on the colder side. And as I mentioned, I'd imagine most schools are going to be closed on Friday, but I would not take it as a snow day. I would stay inside. I know there'll be snow on the ground, but it's going to be dangerously cold out there. So just be aware, even if your kids may want to go out in the snow. Not a good idea on Friday, assuming that classes will be canceled, which with those temperatures, I'd be surprised if they're not.
Yeah, good times to hunker in. All right, Jacob, thank you. Up next at noon, Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin returns. She'll show us a dessert tray perfect for National Cheese Lovers Day. Well, Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is back with us, and today is probably one of our favorite days of the year.
Yes, of course.
National Cheese Lovers Day.
Yeah, so who doesn't love Wisconsin cheese? So it's a great day to celebrate. No matter what kind of cheese you like, Wisconsin has it all for you.
And you have it all for us today.
Yeah, so we are so proud of the fact that Wisconsin makes over 600 different varieties, types, and styles of cheese, leading the nation in making half of all the specialty cheeses here. And here across the country, Americans eat almost 35 pounds of cheese a year. So it's a great day to celebrate all that award-winning cheese.
It sure is, and you've got quite a plate for us.
Yeah, so here in Wisconsin, we're so proud of the fact that we are the only state that have licensed cheesemakers, and we're the only state outside of Switzerland that have master cheesemakers, which means they have basically a PhD in cheesemaking.
Love it.
So we have a beautiful dessert cheese board that has nothing but the best, but 4 cheeses made by our Wisconsin master cheesemakers that have won so many awards worldwide. So I'm going to start over here. We have the Pleasant Ridge Reserve. This cheese is made in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. It actually is the most awarded cheese in America.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's won 3 times at the American Cheese Society. It has a nutty, rich alpine flavor. It's great for all different kinds of recipes, but especially great for cheese boards. It's made by master cheesemaker Andy Hatch.
Awesome.
So that's a great one. And then down here we have the Decatur Dairy Havarti cheese. So Steve Stetler makes this cheese in Broadhead, Wisconsin. He also is a Wisconsin master cheesemaker. He has a master in 7 different types of cheeses, but the Havarti keeps winning again and again at both World Championship and the United States. So people drive all the way out there just to have that award-winning Havarti grilled cheese sandwich.
Well known for sure, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a great stop.
I have, yep.
And then, of course, we have another local favorite, 2 of the cheeses made by Hook's Cheese Factory. Tony and Julie Hook own and operate the factory over in Mineral Point. So we have a award-winning cheddar cheese, and then also the blue cheese, the Blue Paradise, which is a nice creamy cheese made with twice the amount of cream, kind of a gateway blue. So the really secret to making a beautiful cheese board is to have different varieties and different textures. So you notice we have a blue cheese, a cheddar cheese, an aged cheese, and that mellow Havarti cheese. So different textures, different shapes. And then we're pairing it with all sorts of fun, sweet desserts.
It looks so good.
So there's some brownie brittle, some chocolate-covered almonds. Fruits make a lot of great color and flavor. So raspberries, cherries, strawberries. There's some fresh mint and apricot, some cookies, chocolate-covered pretzels. So fun. And there's no hard rules, so you can make the cheese board however you'd like. But we're just hoping everyone will celebrate
Absolutely.
National Cheese Lovers Day.
Boy, and if you bring this to a gas gathering, you're probably going to be the favorite person there.
Absolutely. So it would be a whole meal in itself, but so fun, so colorful, delicious, and made with some of the best cheese in the world.
Supporting our local farmers and be able to find these locally.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
huge.
huge.
You can find them locally. All you need to do is look for that Proudly Wisconsin seal. It's in 99% of all the grocery stores, so it's easy to find, and it's local here in Wisconsin.
Awesome. And where can they learn more information from dairy farmers in Wisconsin?
You can go to wisconsincheese.com. You can find this recipe for the dessert cheese board. You can learn more about our makers. You can search by any type of cheese, what kind of pairing you'd like with it. There's just so much information on there.
Awesome. Well, Angie, thank you so much. Happy Cheese Lovers Day.
Happy Cheese Lovers Day.
We appreciate it. Here's Jacob with the final check of your first warn forecast.
Thanks, Josh. The story is the cold weather. We will see some snow tonight into tomorrow, bringing in about 1 to 4 inches. But what we're going to see towards the end of the week could be some of the coldest air we've seen in a few years across southern Wisconsin. Actual temperatures dropping into the negative teens. Wind chills, as I mentioned, possibly into the negative 40s for Friday morning. Now, Saturday morning, the actual temperature will be colder, but it won't be as windy during that time, but still going to see wind chills well below zero, and that will continue for all day Friday, all day Sunday through all day Saturday, through Sunday morning. And then next week still going to be cold, but a little bit better.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is live at 4, and you can find it streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.